Catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.
It is Africa Tech Radio, and it's time for the 3 T's, travel, tools, and tourism. And today, oh my gosh, I have something interesting for you. My name is Lillian, by the way, and I want to take you around the world and tell you about the cultural etiquettes around the world. So you've decided that you want to backpack across continents. You want to travel. You want to let your hair out or let your hair down and cruise around different places. And you've gone to a certain place, and because this practice is normal in your own locale, they decide to do it in their own place, and they're angry at you. Wonder, what did I do? I don't know. I didn't know. Bro, that is no excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. So I'm going to be telling you about some cultural etiquettes around the world, so that when you find yourself in this environment, or you find yourself around people from these places, you will maintain to sustain without retain. Okay, let us start from the Eastern culture, right? If you go to some places like Turkey, Saudi Arabia, burping after a meal is actually a good thing. It is a way to show that you like the food. In a way, you're saying, you know what, this food was delicious, and because of it was delicious, I ate a lot. So when you burp, and you burp loudly, and you're patting your tummy, it is a compliment to the chef. The chef is looking at you and saying, oh my God, I see you, I'm gonna do some more for you when you come back. I see you, thank you for complimenting me, right? And some people just do it out of nasty habits, because in some places you may say, that is really nasty, but in those Eastern cultures it is not. All right. Meanwhile, when you go to the Maasai tribe in Kenya, you can spit to say hello. But if you spit in Nigeria, they will sand you with backhand. So they spit as a way to greet each other and show respect. They even do it during special occasions like weddings and when babies are born. Yeah. So when you go to Kenya and you're around people from the Maasai tribe, don't get disgusted. Don't say, ew, what are you doing? Just spitting on me. Did you know that? Don't do that. Just indulge. Okay? Indulge them. Now, this particular one I want to tell you about, I think Nigeria has been prepared for it, because in Nigeria, if you want to give something to your held down one and you are giving it with your left hand, it is a big problem. Oh, you are very uncultured, and you are on a serious person. You are very rude, and you're very. What else do I need to say? Right? You need to use your right hand. Even if you want to give, maybe you're eating a food that you only use hands to eat and is messed up or something, that you want to pass something to an elder person. If you are taking your left hand, you support that left hand with your right hand to show that, see, this left hand that I'm using to give you this thing, it is not what I want to do, right? It is just circumstances. So in the Middle East, right, they take handshakes really seriously. They always use right hands when they meet someone new, they're greeting someone, or they're eating. Left hand is to say, this is not clean, ew, go, disgusting. So if you're a Nigerian, I think you're set. You're golden, unless you're one of these people who do not care. Yeah. But what about those whose primary hand for everything is their left? The lefties. What would they do then? They're going to find it really difficult in that place. But I believe in you. You go, person. Okay, let's move to Japan. In Japan, to tip is a no-no. Is a no way. They believe that the service is already excellent and tipping can be seen as rude, so you don't need to leave extra money at restaurants or hotels. Now, people from, say, America will find this really difficult to adapt to, because if you don't tip, you are cheap. Yes, in the 90s of America, you have to tip. In fact, that's how the waiters or the baristas or whoever it is that's attended to you might get paid. They rely a lot on tipping. And if I'm Nigeria, I'm like, why do I have to tip you? I'm not paying you salary. Didn't I pay for my food? And do you know that there's a calculation for tips? Hey, God. In some parts of the world, they calculate tips. And if you don't put that tip, they're looking at you like, oh, you're very cheap. I'm going to really struggle if I leave Nigeria. I know. I'm crying. let us move from Japan to the Arab cultures. In many Arab countries, if you show the bottom of your shoes, it's like saying you don't care about cleanness. So it is polite to remove your shoes before going inside someone's home or certain buildings. And if you even put your foot up, hey God, but Allah is there. And let's go to China. In China, especially when you eat noodles, you eat the noodle dishes, it is polite to slop your food. You know, it's a way of saying, delicious. Mwah. This food is so good. So don't be shy to slurp, but be careful when you slurp in some parts like Nigeria. They ask you, are you a goat? Why it's like a goat? In Ghana, if you invite somebody for a meal or a drink or anything, or you invite them for a party, you pay. It's expected that you cover the bill, and if you don't, it can be seen as impolite. Meanwhile, somebody trended in recent times that this lady went to the UK and said, how can you, she's a Nigerian, but she relocated to the UK. She said, how can you invite me for your birthday celebration to a restaurant and I'm dressed up? I'm expected to give you a gift, and I'm expected to split the bill and pay for whatever I eat. Are you kidding me? In Nigeria, it is no. In fact, if they invite you for a birthday celebration or whatever celebration, it is a food fest, free for all. Do you understand? The comment section was with mixed feelings, because they say it's different cultures and traditions, right? And some people say they don't even go for birthday parties anymore abroad, because if they go, they will be splitting the bill. And so Nigerians, they'll be like, me, you invite me for your party, I will bring it, I'll still split the bill. It's not possible, you will never see me there. Do you understand? And now this is a culture in Ghana that if you invite someone for meal or drinks, you must cover that bill. Ghanaians will struggle in the UK, believe me. I mean, you'll be like, what is happening? It will be a real big culture shock. Let's go to France, where it is better to not bring wine to somebody's dinner party. It might seem like you're saying, your wine is not good enough. Okay, take this one instead. This is a 1978 Chateau de Vacas. Instead, take flowers or sweets as a gesture of thanks. That is how it's done in France, isn't it? Speaking of gestures, when you go to different countries, the hand signals varies and it can mean different things. For example, for instance, the OK sign, where your index finger touches your thumb in a circular motion and the other fingers are stretched out, the OK sign. Or a strong handshake might mean something else in other cultures. So be aware of local customs before you go there, right? Be aware of the local customs before you go there. Trivial, you might think it's trivial, but chewing gum. There are rules for chewing gums. In countries like Luxembourg or Singapore, chewing gum in public is not appreciated. In fact, in some places it's against the law. They say, how dare you? But in some other places, they'll be chewing the gums, they'll be making the sound, and then they'll blow bubbles and pop it. Like, now I know why some people made it against the law, because it is very uncouth behavior. Left hand, we've talked about that. Do not use your left hand in Arab countries for shaking or eating, because they associate with something that's unclean. Okay. Alright, now let's go back to China, okay? In Chinese culture, it is customary to present and receive gifts with both hands, right? And you should never leave chopsticks upright in the rice. You should never leave chopsticks upright in the rice. Also, shaking hands is normal. It is far less common to greet someone with a hug or a kiss. While in some countries, they'll be, they kiss both cheeks. But in Chinese culture, it is normal to just shake. You don't need to do too much. Moving over to France, if you don't speak French, it is appreciated if you apologize for your lack of fluency. Yeah. It's also common to leave the office for a lunch that lasts for 2 hours or more. Don't try it in Nigeria, because you might have a job to go back to. You know what I'm saying? Also in France, men will sometimes greet women with a kiss. However, many women will stick out a hand if they prefer a handshake. I think it's something that I can do. Let us go to Germany, where humor is not appreciated in a business context in some places. And in business meetings, allow the eldest person to enter the room first. A handshake may be accompanied with a nod. Reciprocating the nod ensures a good impression. We're going to end today with Japan, where they do not like using the word no. Yeah, avoid using the word no. They will typically respond with a yes to acknowledge their understanding of what the speaker is saying, even if they clearly disagree. Yes, no, yes. It is very similar to the Indian culture, where saying no is impolite. And the most senior person often leads discussions. Other members of the party may not speak much out of respect. And if you want to gift somebody something, wrap it. The value of the gift is less important than the thoughtfulness with which it was presented. So when you are wrapping it, you wrap it very, very well. Do not openly display money. Use an envelope. Don't be on cloud. And never pour a drink for yourself. Always allow someone else to pour it for you. I think I'll learn that. It speaks class, don't you think? On that note, you're going to believe in you. That is the 3 T's, and this is just part 1. We have so many more for you. All right, we're taking you around the world a day at a time. My name is Lillian, and you're listening to Africa Tech Radio. Follow us on all our social media platforms. On Instagram, it is at A-Tech Radio. On Twitter, Facebook, YouTube is Africa Tech Radio. Even on Threads, check us at A-Tech Radio. My name is Lillian once more, and bye-bye.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.